Yo, YouTube. We're at 35 subscribers, Mitch. 5 subscribers this week. It's looking pretty good.
Amazing.
So yeah, thank you.
Incredible.
Uh,
Yes, thank you.
we got a goal of 100. 100 would be pretty nice, honestly. So if
By
you
when? The end of the year? I'm
yeah,
being honest. I'm not
by the
gonna
end of the
expect
year, we want to try and get 100. So if you press that subscribe button, that'll be pretty nice. All right. So today we're going to review Alien Earth episodes 3 to 6. We did episodes 1 to 3 already when episode 3 came out. This will also be a spoiler review.
Bottom line, a lot of this season has been a bit of a snore fest, generally because they're telling a narrative that could have been told within 3 episodes by now, and they've somehow stretched it to 6 episodes. The biggest suspect of that being episode 5. All of that stuff could have been done in the very first episode. The only thing that we learnt in that episode that we didn't know before was that Boy Cavalier, aka Peter Pan, was responsible for the ship sabotage. It's unclear to me whether the ship itself was intended to crash in Prodigy City. I can't recall, but it seems like that was the case. He wanted the sabotage to crash in his backyard so he can obtain, whatever the spacecraft was hiding. That's the only piece of material we learnt that was brand new, and at the same time, we all kind of just knew that anyways. We all suspected that he was in on it, in one way or another. The rest of that episode was just filler, bro, and showcasing, which is really surprising for me to say, that showcasing some of the stupidest characters we have met thus far in the whole Alien franchise. Like, I'm talking stupider than some of the characters in Prometheus and Covenant, man, by some of the stupid decisions they make. It was hard for me to watch. I was just cringing and shaking my head throughout the whole episode, going, why are these so-called scientists that, they're not truckies like the original Alien film. They're not just like being told to pick up dangerous cargo. These are scientists that were selected for this mission to bring back these dangerous specimens for Weyland-Yutani, and they are some of the stupidest characters I've ever met in a TV show / movie ever. So, I guess my perspective was just Morrow, who was the only smart person, and it's because the plot wants him to be smart, because he's essentially the main character at this point. Everyone else in that fucking episode, man, was just so hard to watch.
Yeah.
It's like some of incompetent and dumb. I can't even say the characters were dumb. It was the writing that was dumb, that made the characters dumb, I can't even blame the characters. It's just someone wrote this and said this will be this character's arc in this episode. Like, they got a freaking apprentice engineer in there that doesn't know the difference between geology and biology. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. A 5-year-old knows the difference now. And this is meant to be set in the future where space travel is all the thing.
Yeah.
And you got that stupid science officer who's in charge of researching these creatures, making some of the most idiotic choices, like having food in the lab, having like liquids in the lab, handling these creatures and leaving canisters open and not securing stuff. Just all stupid plot devices that, like, this show should be better at doing.
Yeah, well, they kind of did that on purpose, where she's eating a sandwich, but in the same shot, there's like guts on the table and half a alien cut up. I was like, oh, I get it. They're trying to be wacky, but then they see that little alien bug come out and go in her sandwich and that, and instead of like throwing the sandwich away and decontaminating the whole room, they're just like, oh, let's go have a meeting. It's like you should there's protocols. I'm sure there's protocols you're supposed to take if an alien escapes its enclosure. Yeah. And she's the biologist. She's a professional in this field.
Yeah. Like, even Sigourney Weaver's character, who's just a random senior pilot officer on a commercial truck driver's, quote, flight, knew to follow, those kind of protocols for quarantine measures. And that was in a complete different scenario that was much more softer than this. She's meant to be the authority of the situation, but she's making dumb decisions like that. And I don't believe it. I don't believe a character in that position can be that dumb. All of them. You know what I mean? yeah, people make stupid decisions in irrational scenarios, but everything they do in this episode, I just can't believe it to be them that stupid. You know, it takes me right out of any seriousness I could take for this episode, man.
Yeah, yeah, it is an episode ruiner for sure.
Yeah, and then they got her who I can't remember her character name, but she pretty much becomes the next in command when the captor got impregnated with the Xeno, and she is extremely incompetent at her job. Fair call. She's under a situation she's not prepared for, and I guess I got to give a little props for them to actually make two female characters in the show stupid and incompetent. Because I swear to God, if you were around the clock like a year or two ago, you would never see that in a show that's run by Disney and all this whole generation. So I'll give a little props to that. But still, these characters are too stupid, you know? And like, I'm getting aggravated just remembering everything from the episode.
And even the writing was bad. Like the whole episode was almost a detective story. Like, oh, who's the saboteur? Even though the back of our mind, and then they just like reveal it. It's like, oh, it's some random guy we've never seen before, basically.
Yes, you reminded me of that.
It's like,
it could have been so much clever. You know, like we ourselves are trying to figure out which one of this crew of like 7 or 8 characters, who's the saboteur, who's the spy. It's like playing a game of Among Us. But the plot reveal is a character that was not even shown.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, come on, really? That is so cheap, lazy.
That was cheap, lazy. I thought maybe it was one of the queens that was like kind of running the show behind the scenes, where she's smart enough to like know how the engine works and all that. But it wasn't even that.
I would have been happy if it was just Morrow, which I suspected was, you know, because we kind of introduced him as this character letting these guys die in the background. You know, I guess it would have been like, oh, I'm not surprised. We know it's Morrow. But, I don't know, I think that would have been a better outcome than just having a surprise. This character's, like, hiding in the shadows. You've never seen him before. He's the saboteur. How smart are we in this writing?
We found that out because Morrow, he looked at logs on the computer, recorded logs.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, like, you're gonna just put yourself out, like, everything's recorded. I don't know, it's so dumb. That was dumb.
It's just lazy plot conveniences, man, they're just convenient for the sake of following the narrative, and they make no logical sense. So, like, here's a good example. Okay, Morrow looked at surveillance footage to discover the saboteur. If we go to the next episode, spoiler: one of the children that's a synthetic gets killed. All right, and in the what should be the most secure lab in this whole facility. And for pretty much the whole episode, no one is aware of this character being killed until the very end, where someone finally looks at a surveillance camera and goes, huh? What's going on here? Even then, it wasn't enough for them to realize what's going on. Like, a character had to go into the labs to discover his dead remains in one of the enclosures. And even then, no alerts were made. Like, this is supposed to be the most secure room in this whole facility, because they're experimenting on biological creatures that they stole. They know Weyland-Yutani wants them back, so they'd be preparing for some kind of like conflict, aka war, with like their elite forces. But no, the whole episode, this freaking lab room with the most dangerous creatures ever found is just like empty, with no one watching.
No one watching. Also, Kirsch, the grey-haired guy, he's got surveillance footage, but this is like the Epstein thing, where they've got surveillance footage of the outside of the cell, and like we can barely see Epstein walking up the stairs or whatever. It's like he's got surveillance footage of the outside of the lab, and he's like, he's looking at the iPad the whole episode. But he doesn't realize. Look inside, buddy boy.
But that's the thing. I already Kirsch knew what was going on. All right, he knew something was up, and he's allowing it to happen.
He's allowing it. That's what I'm kind of okay.
He's allowing it to happen. He's got sinister undertones. He's got his own agenda. But the funny thing is, he's the only person who was watching the surveillance footage, and he's not even on the island. He's elsewhere watching it from a tablet. Are you telling me there's not a single other officer, military security guard, whatever, watching those cameras or observing what's happening in the freaking lab where all these new weird scary creatures have come into play.
Yeah, no, that's like red hot zone number one. That's what everyone's worried
Yeah.
about. Even when the three security or whatever were having they're having a
Oh, the
war,
patrol.
they're doing a patrol. It's like, oh, I'm scared. I want to get out of here. I'm scared of those things. Well, at least we know where they are. It's like, well, you don't, because no one's freaking.
You don't. No one's watching.
Just pay him
Oh
a
my
couple
God,
of.
man.
Pay some guy like a few $100 a day. Like they're trillionaires. They literally own. They own the world. They're
Yes.
split. The world is split between what five big corporations, because
Yeah.
the whole is interesting. Episode 4 actually, they mentioned that. Maybe we knew this the whole time, that the whole current world, like diplomacy or whatever, didn't work. So what they did is 5 corporations basically took over the world, which is basically where capitalism.
That was introduced in like the very first episode.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pay some security
You got the
guards, buddy boys.
Bro, it's just idiotic. It's just, again, just lazy plot narrative for the sake of because like throughout the 6 episodes, there's been 1 or 2 scenarios where it's like, "Hi Wendy, I have been watching you through surveillance footage. Are you okay?" Or someone else has been watching someone through surveillance, but no one is paying attention to the security lab. Like, come on. It's so lazy, bro. At least showcase sabotage. At least showcase all the video surveillance has been glitched out for whatever reason. We can't see what's going on. Just give us something like that where it's like, okay, that's why this has somehow been allowed to happen. But no, we don't get any of that. Even in Aliens back in 1986, when Sigourney Weaver and Newt are trapped, in a room with face huggers, we see Burke, who turns out to be basically the villain of the movie, turn off the camera, so no one can see that they're under attack. Just show something like that. Where it's
Even
like,
that, yeah.
This is happening. And then the heroes have to be smart and do something to get out of the situation. But we don't get any of that, man. And it's killing my investment, even though I had very little for the show to succeed. Because I love Alien. It's had its severe ups and its incredibly severe downs. Cool, but I still love the construct of it. But this show is like tearing up my very fabric of whatever else can be salvaged from this franchise. And
Yeah. I mean, there was a cool scene. I remember episode 6 where the eyeball. I love that eyeball thing, man. It takes over
it is pretty creepy.
It takes over like a sheep's eye, basically. It takes over its brain, and it just like gives you a death stare. So are those alien? And they're enemies of the aliens, right?
I'm glad you mentioned that,
Yeah.
because I'm a bit confused too. Because if we rewind to episode 5, when
At the end.
the smart scientist is observing,
Right.
the eyeball seems to be constantly like, it's quite intelligent. We know that it's obviously observing. There was one sequence where I got confused, where the little fly bugs escaped and got into the sandwich and all that, and it cuts to the eye thing, like basically tapping on its enclosure,
Trying to
as if
warn
it's
her
trying to warn her.
that
And I'm thinking,
he's escaping. He's
yeah, I was like, is it trying to warn her, or is it trying to do something else? I don't know. And then at the very end of the episode, it gets into a fight with a xenomorph. But at the same time, I'm confused because right before that fight, the eye thing that's now a host to one of the engineers knocked out the dumb, incompetent chick.
the captain.
Yeah, the new captain. So I was like, okay, that kind of contradicts my thought of like, is it
Trying to
help them? Because no, I'm
and then the sheep, killed one of the young guys as well.
Yeah,
basically.
distracted him to
So
get locked into the enclosure.
Yeah, so it's like, is he just like a high school bully that like likes you and then hates you all of a sudden?
I don't know. I think he just hates everything. Which
he hates everything.
pretty
Yeah,
funny.
which
Yeah.
that's probably the most interesting. One of the most interesting things so far is, oh, what's that eyeball got to do? And that fight in the end was kind of dumb. Like that alien was like freaking doing this half a dance.
Yeah, that looked funny.
Maybe
Yeah,
he's not. that alien isn't really the big one, right? Not like the leader. It's just like one of the. Oh, what are they called again? Those
They got different types of xenomorphs.
xenomorph. Yeah.
If this one is supposed to be a reference to the original alien, it's called a drone xenomorph.
They're kind of dumb.
It's basically, well, they're dumb, but they're also kind of a rogue because the xenomorph works best as a hive. So, Aliens 2 with James Cameron introduced warrior xenomorphs, and I think we're eventually going to see one, a queen xenomorph.
Okay.
So, as we've seen in the show, adult male xenomorphs, I guess, can be controlled by these new synthetic androids. They're quite powerful. But if they introduce a queen xenomorph, I'd like to think the Earth will be destroyed, but I doubt it because everything's just conveniently stuck on an island all the damn time.
Everything's stuck in enclosures in an island owned by a billionaire. Yeah. It's kind of false advertising. It's like Alien Earth. It's like, no, it's Alien.
If we don't get a cliffhanger
Alien
of
Zoo.
seeing one of these things escape, if there's not a cliffhanger where one of these things or a facehugger is like venturing towards a big city or metropolis where it has no barriers and there's no enclosures, if we don't get that as a season finale, I am not going to give a shit.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah.
You go.
Oh, yeah, no, I was going to say, we also have the story with Curly. Dude, it seems like you're getting there because you have this theory that she becomes possibly she becomes a catalyst for change there, where she probably becomes...
Curly, oh, yes.
She, a vigilante, not vigilante, she becomes corrupt there or something, and then she turns it around. What did you say about her? In the last episode?
Is Curly the one that's trying to impress Peter Pan, the Cavalier?
No, I think Curly's the redhead girl.
I thought her name was Pip.
Oh, yeah, no, Pip. What? ChatGPT let me down. I tried to get the names of the characters.
Don't listen to artificial intelligence. That's the whole point of this TV show.
I am in here. Alright.
Nibs, not Pips, it's Nibs. Nibs, that's her name.
Nibs, okay.
Curly is the one that's trying to impress Peter Pan, Cavalier, who didn't really have anything to do in the last episode. But, yeah,
she was the best part of the fourth episode. You can't...
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. She was, and now episode 6 comes, and they've kind of erased the memory of all that crud.
But it makes them think, fuck them. So it's kind of bringing it to your point. Maybe she becomes a man, I'm trying to find the word. You know, she rebels, and then she helps the other team basically, or something like that.
At this point, they've erased her memory. So unless she somehow cognitively gets it back and starts acting all crazy again, I don't know where now they're going to take her story.
Maybe Wendy's going to help her. It's going to be maybe a thing with her and Wendy.
Well, I mean, Wendy at this point seems to be the one that's going to rebel because she's having a thing with these creatures. She's having empathy towards them. And her brother's trying to warn her that they're dangerous. But she's like, no, I can talk to them. Everything is dangerous and everything is a creature, you know? So I'm hoping she gets a mad wake-up call. Maybe her brother will eventually get killed or harmed or something, and she'll snap out of it realizing... Because the whole premise about the xenomorph creature, because they try to do it in a few movies, is they can't be controlled. They can't be tamed, and they can't be domesticated. These things are just aggressively territorial, out to kill anything that they see as a threat to their hive, to their hosts, and all that stuff. So I'm hoping they don't take it in this direction where they give the xenomorphs a heart, you know, where they actually can be likable given the circumstances. I hope not, because they're not. They are literally bred and engineered to be basically a killing machine. So don't do that. Don't turn them into the Predator where they can be anti-hero. Alright, we got the Predator. It's a killing machine, but it's still likable. The Xenomorph is not meant to be a likable villain. It's supposed to be terrifying, and it's supposed to be an immediate threat. So, for the love of God, TV show, don't do that to us, please. You're gonna kill your whole fan base if you do that.
Yeah. So season 6, they set up the whole
episode 6.
Yeah, episode 6. They're setting up a whole war, basically. I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think it's going to be? That's the showdown. I mean, that's going to be like the whole pinnacle of the show. In how many episodes are going to be? 8 or 9 episodes?
I'm not sure. Maybe 8. That seems to be the general average now.
So maybe there's going to be a big fight, and that's the show. That's the season.
There's definitely going to be a sequence where Yutani attacks Prodigy, and you know that's when everything is going to escape, and that's when all chaos is going to happen. I don't know. A lot of the stuff that happened in episode 6, it should have happened by episode 3, episode 4, you know, because my biggest issue so far with the show, even though a lot of the narrative is kind of dumb, I can tolerate that if the flow of the show was there. Because we've already got one filler episode, which a lot of people probably would consider the best episode because they got to see the alien in action. Even though funny enough, in that episode, I think it only killed one person, and the human crewmen, they were mainly responsible for killing each other, which is kind of ironic. But a lot of stuff that's happened in episode 6 could have been told 3 episodes ago. That the flow of the show would have been a lot more consistent and cohesive. My problem with it so far is there's just too many subplots. They're intriguing, but you gotta centralize what the story is supposed to be about. And I don't care about business politics and all that crap in the background. It's first and foremost supposed to be about Alien. You know, show us the freaking alien. I think there's only been like 3 episodes where you get to see the alien, and even then it's in glimpses. So, I still don't really know what the main plot of the show is supposed to be about. Is it supposed to be about the political war between different business companies? Is it supposed to be about the metaphor of consciousness and morality between humans and AI? Because there seems to be a growing conflict between Kirsch and Morrow. Like, that's going to be coming to head soon enough. I'm intrigued about that. But again, I'm intrigued about it for the wrong reasons. I'm intrigued about it because it's feeling like a bloody Blade Runner spin-off instead of being about Alien. And that's always what I have to come back to about the show. The Alien stuff for me is secondary, when it should be the first and foremost thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's bottom line. All the things I'm finding interesting about the show is irrelevant. In the long run. That to me is a staple of you not telling the story right. You're not giving the alien the credit it deserves. That would be like me watching Terminator, and the thing I'm interested in is the Mustang Shelby that they're driving. You know?
Yeah, I know.
That's not the point.
It's not the point.
Yeah. So
I know there's 4 plots at the moment. Boy Cavalier, the sister and the brother. Then you've got Kirsch, the grey-haired scientist. They seem like they're in the trajectory of getting somewhere with the story.
Very slowly.
Yeah. Also,
Morrow.
Yeah, Morrow story with the Indian boy. I don't know. That bores the hell out of me. Every time they're on screen, I'm like, ugh.
I love Morrow's performance, but yeah, I agree. It's kind of dragging on because it's been like 3 episodes of him talking into his ear. And I mean, finally he did something in episode 6. He finally did what he was meant to do, which is get someone impregnated with the face. But from here, obviously, he's going to have to find a way to get that impregnated corpse tomorrow. Tomorrow. So we'll have to wait and see next week how that turns out.
Yeah, I just feel like they shouldn't have had that story. They could have done it in a different way. Get rid of that story.
There's a lot of things they could have done differently, bro.
Yeah.
We did get introduced to a new creature as well this episode. Finally, that cocoon has hatched, and it's this giant fly that seems to eat on metals and rocks and synthetics and all that. So they've actually introduced a creature that is kind of a threat to synthetics, artificial intelligence. So how they're going to play on that, I don't know. Again, I want to know about aliens, not about giant, still-eating flies, but whatever. I'm sure it's going to come into play at one point. Yeah.
Was that planned when that kid, he tried to open a door and it broke off? And he's like, well, I guess I have to go into the enclosure and feed it. Even though they're like superhuman geniuses, aren't they supposed to be kind of geniuses in a sense?
I mean, like I said the last time, like the only ones that seem to be showing any sign of being smart are the females. Like the boys seem to just still downplay and act like 10-year-old kids. So
well, they got potential. They've got potential to learn. They're just not. The girls are putting the effort.
Yeah, they're obviously more curious, even if their curiosity is going in weird directions. I don't think it was intentional for him to get killed.
He's just strong.
Yeah, he didn't realize his own strength because he's been a 10-year-old child.
Yeah.
And this is like the first time he's probably tested himself. So he's walked in and the eye tricked him and got him stuck in there, which is pretty funny. That was not the plan, and Kirsch knew that the other fella was up to something, the Indian boy. That was meant to be, I guess, planned, the sabotage of that. But yeah, I'm sorry, my mind's in a million different places now because I'm trying to remember every little sub-cohesive narrative.
But that's a whole the story is like that. There's many different things going on in parallel. Yeah. So yeah, and they're not really intertwining that much. Yeah. It's kind of like we're at episode 6 out of 8 or 9, and it seems like there's a lot of subplots that are like turning to like other plots. And they're not really kind of coming to one, unless it's like, well, it's going to be a next season. It's not good enough.
Because I think the bottom line, the issue why we're not really giving a crap is because episode 1, the flow of the show is got the same flow and temperament as a film's flow. So with that, your mindset is like, all right, we're going to get into action pretty quickly. This part's going to be forwarding on, but it's not doing that at all. If I have to compare this to anything similar to it, would be the TV show Fallout. Fallout's pacing is very similar to a movie's pacing. It doesn't stretch out any unnecessary kind of battle. But what Fallout does better than Alien is it delivers on progress. It delivers on that narrative's over, this is going to happen next. It's the cornerstone of any storytelling, is every scene needs to forward the plot. A lot of this show is just people standing around. Even Kirsch is a target. Even though I love the character Kirsch and I'm very intrigued about him, half the time his character never really forced the plot. He's just there staring and being curious, like,
Yeah, nothing's really gone to fruition. Like what they're doing tests. What are they learning about them? Like they're not telling us what they're learning about them. The only thing that's progressing is more people are dying. People are dying
as well, yeah.
And basically things are getting out of control. That's it. But it's like a mess. It's a bit of a mess. Like
it's taken 6 episodes for that to happen, Like when you're in the world of Alien, like it doesn't take long for things to go out the window in terms of trying to control the xenomorph. And the fact that it's taken 6 episodes to get to this point is just like, okay, whatever.
You know what I kind of hope? I kind of hope they spend 1 episode only in the enclosures, just showing the aliens and how the different aliens interact. Because how they did it in the 5th episode, where that eyeball was slightly interacting with the jar with the sloth. I kind of hope they spend 1 whole episode just with the aliens and how they interact, and
just the point of view of the eye, just like have a whole story just from the point of view of the eye creature,
and how they're kind of working. They're using their own intelligences to work with each other to escape, basically. But I don't know, that might not happen, and we don't have much time to find out. It's kind of just up in the air at the moment. It's obvious where it's going. It's going to go Boy Cavalier and that other trillionaire. I keep forgetting the name.
Oh yeah, Yutani.
Yutani. They're gonna, what does Yutani want? want the
So I'll tell you
specimens.
how I'll tell you how this war is going to end,
Yeah.
because the rest of the Alien franchise has already told us this. Weyland-Yutani basically becomes the only corporation. Weyland-Yutani ends up becoming everything because they are in charge of the synthetic kind of stuff, artificial intelligence and
Right.
building
Yeah.
better worlds. Everything we've seen in the Alien universe, colonizing different planets and all that, that is Weyland-Yutani. They, for the most part, are the only corporation. So I can tell you right now, they're going to win this war.
They're going to win the war.
Yeah. And
what happens to the brother, Wendy? What happens to all them? I don't know. They might die. Probably not, because this show doesn't seem to have the balls for it.
Wendy won't die, but I think the brother should. They don't really have anything for the brother to do. He's just there going, we need to get out of here. Oh, it's dangerous.
He's being a bit of a pussy boy the whole show. He's being an annoying pussy boy.
I've never really, honestly, I think they got the wrong actor for the role. I don't really see him as this kind of big brother kind of energy.
I've seen he's a good warrior. He plays a good guy that's always worried.
Yeah. He's meant to be the voice of caution, but even then it's just like no one's listening to him.
No one's listening, yeah.
And but he doesn't even listen to himself. Like episode 1, when he's gone to investigate with the military troops, he knows something's up. But when there's a scenario of near death, he's still forwarding on. That's just like, come on, listen to your own words. Practice what you preach. If you're in a dangerous, hostile scenario, don't go looking for the damn creature. Irrelevant to that, I reckon he'll die or get impregnated. Either same thing. There will be a conflict between Prodigy and Yutani. Morrow will infiltrate Prodigy somehow. I reckon there will be a kind of fist fight between him and Kirsch.
Yeah.
I can't picture them killing off Morrow or Kirsch, but they may damage each other in battle. During which time Yutani will get their hands on some of the creatures, but at the same time, the other creatures will escape or get killed. I don't really care for any of the creatures except the Xeno and the Eye Guy. The rest, to me, they can kill them off. I won't be that too invested in them. I like the Eye creature. I hope they do something more with it. I like to think it actually has a higher intelligence where it actually is capable to communicate instead of just like going to kill. But yeah, that's to me how the season's gonna end. Some of the androids will probably end up going to do their own thing. They might get killed in the progress. I think Nibs. I don't know where they're taking Nibs now. I really thought she was going to be a key central part to like Prodigy's downfall, but they've kind of erased that part of her now. So unless she gets it back, I don't know where she's going to be going now.
Or maybe she's just a catalyst for Wendy to start questioning what's going on, and that's as much as she's going to be. It may be that
when Wendy was already showing signs of that. You know, I mean, I think Nibs in this episode was like a push for her to start not trusting humans.
Yeah,
fair enough. I think Peter Pan will die by the end of the season, and Kirsch might take over the company. That's my theory on it. Because I don't think Kirsch gives a crap about humans. He doesn't give a crap about the human child androids. I think in the end he's just going to be out for himself when he takes the advantage to do it, has the chance to do so. That's where I see it going. Who knows?
All right. Well, yeah, that's about it. We've talked about a lot. I'm sure there's a lot we haven't talked about, but honestly, it's episode 4 was meh. Episode 5 was just kind of a waste of time. Episode 6 was okay. It's episode 6 is definitely the best episode. There's a few episodes left. There's still so many open things. No one really knows what's going on. People are dying. Things are being flung everywhere. There's shit on the walls. And we'll see what happens next time, ladies and gentlemen. At the moment, I'll give a rating. At the moment, so far, I'll give the show a... Oof. It's tough because it looks good. Like they did a lot of things right. Just
I
not
mean,
the
like,
yeah.
we've trashed the shit out of it in this talk. Give credit where credit is due. It does look very appealing. It
It
does
looks
especially
appealing. Yeah.
nice. Yes.
Yeah, and they
It does look like
use it does. Yeah. I'll give the show a 6. Yeah, 6. I'll give the show a 6 out of 10 at the moment. Everything lately has been a 6. There hasn't been many high rated stuff lately, but yeah, that's what I'm at.
it's just a bad rating.
Yeah, it's mad at the moment.
I'm on the fence. I'm just gonna give it a 5 at this point.
Yeah, right.
I want to see how it does first before I go follow on higher. So 5 for me so far.
Yeah, I got excited when the trillionaires are going to fight. Like, all that's really going to do is what? It's going to be some people with guns and lasers going to kill each other. Like, unless it's going to be more of the good infiltration, the smart infiltration, or, you know, I don't know how that's going to happen.
It'll be by sabotage. That's the only way you're gonna get on Prodigy Island. It'll be more convincing that they need to be able to do some virtually done.
Yeah.
Yes. Finish. And it might redeem it for me. By the end of the season, you know, play their cameo. I don't know how that will work, but I wouldn't.
What? The house?
This is the fan theory, so maybe even if they didn't cliffhanger for season 2, that a predator comes to, you know, hunt all the stupidity of these humans and all that stuff. Okay.
I think there's a high chance even of Blade Runner thing come popping in.
Yeah, I believe that too. Because I keep telling you, it feels more like a Blade Runner show than an alien show. It's what it was. I feel like the CG also
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this season finale. And can they knock our socks off, or we'll find out. Alright, until next time, bye bye.